Welcome back to Indoor Smokers, guys. So I've had a lot of people asking me to do another story time video. And you guys asked, and I heard ya. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna be giving you guys another one of my stories from the years I lived off the grid up on Badger Mountain. And I've also got a great deal on some Sample Box e-juice to tell you guys about. 120 ml bottles for $29.95. And I'm gonna use a little bit of this number 13, the banana bread, while you guys check out the cutscene. See you in a sec. When I was in my mid-20s, I sold my parents' house, the one we all grew up in. So my parents had separated and all the kids had moved out. It was a big 2-story, 5-bedroom, 3-bath house. So my mom's paying, $250, $300 a month to heat that place in the winter just for herself. So I went ahead, got the place all cleaned up, fixed up, sold the house, and then I used the commission I made off of that to buy 7 acres of property up on Badger Mountain, just outside of East Wenatchee, here in Washington State. So the property was 2 miles from the nearest plowed road. The big main road that the school bus went on, they plowed that, but then you had to take a dirt road that went 2 miles out to my property. So I bought the place in about May. So I was up there from late spring all the way through the summer. Of course, things are great at that time of the year. You don't really notice being over 4,000 feet. But that 2 miles from the nearest plowed road should have given me a clue. But I was just cocky enough and naive enough to think I was just going to be able to rip out there all winter, put chains on or whatever I had to, and I thought I'd be able to fucking bust through the snow. But I was sadly mistaken. So the first winter, I think it's about late October, early November. And we've already had a couple of little snowstorms, and I've been driving out there. I'm not going down like the last quarter mile because there's a big hill that goes down and turns. So I'm parking there and walking the last quarter mile. But on this day, I think it was about early November, we were having a huge snowstorm. I'm driving up there with a buddy of mine. I've got a generator, some propane tank, some other equipment I'm supposed to be bringing out. One spot on the road, most of the way out there, was pretty flat, but there was one spot where a hill goes up and it turns to the right at the same time. So it was just a terrible spot because you could only get up so much speed going up that hill or you're going to slide off on the turn. And if you didn't get enough speed going up, you weren't going to make it up to the top. So that's what ends up happening to us on this day. We get just up to where it starts to turn and boom, we're sliding, we're not going any further. So then we try to put it in reverse to come back down, and we get a few feet and then fuck, it just locks up. Brakes all the way down. That thing's just sliding, finally just kind of turns and boosh off the side of the road. We're there for about an hour trying everything, putting branches and leaves and anything we can find, shoving it under the tires, trying to fucking give us some grip so we can get out of there. Nothing's working, man. We are fucking stuck. It's still like a blizzard going on out there. By this time, we probably headed up there about 3 in the afternoon. By now, it's probably like 5:30. It's already dark. The fucking snow's coming down crazy, and we're finally like, man, we're fucked, dude. We ain't got no place to go, and there ain't no way we're gonna get this truck out of there. So there was actually 2 permanent residents on this 2-mile road out to my property, 2 other people who lived out there year round. And one of them we weren't that far from. We were probably about maybe a quarter, third of a mile from this guy's house that I had seen out there. He's a pretty hardcore old timer out there, but I'd never gone up and talked to him or anything. And from the experiences I've had with those fucking locals up on that mountain, it ain't good. That's all I know, man. They have not been pleasant to deal with. So I'm not looking forward to going up to this motherfucker's house and having to ask him for some help. But my buddy Pat's like, fuck, dude, what else are we gonna do, man? We got no choice. So we go trudging up to this guy's house, walk into his fucking fenced off area with the no trespassing signs and all of that, fucking go up to the front door. I can see in the window, there's a fire burning. There's an old fucking guy, looks like he's about in his 80s, no shirt on, just overalls, reading a book. And when I knock on the door, he doesn't even move. It ends up being his wife who comes to the door. So this older lady comes to the door, and she's seeming nice enough. She's being polite and everything. So basically I'm asking them if they got a chain or a winch or if they fucking got some sand we could even use, and she's like, we got nothing. Even though you know damn well they got everything you could need up there for the winter time. But anyways, they obviously got nothing for us. So I'm starting to leave off the porch, and then my buddy Pat's like, fuck man, we need to at least use the phone, whatever, or ask her if we can use that. So I go back up, knock on the door again. Fuck, the lady comes back again, this time a little more irritated. And then she's like, no, we ain't got no phone. You can't come in. You can't use nothing, whatever. So I'm leaving again, and my buddy Pat's like, fuck, you can't leave, man. We're fucking stuck down there. What we're going to do? Just lay out here and die in the fucking winter? You got to go back, man, and see. We got to be able to use a phone, something. So I go back up a third time, knock on the door, and this time I see the fucking old dude reading the book. Bam! He just shuts the book and puts it down and gets up. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Now I'm in for it, man. So this old dude in his 80s comes up to the door, no shirt on, just wearing some fucking overalls. And this son of a bitch has got a hole in his throat with one of those fucking Donald Duck talking apparatus, you know. What the hell? And this guy starts fucking laying into me, dude. He is cussing me out left and right. You fucking MFers this, son of a bitch that, this, you know. Who the fuck are you? He yelled at me for making tracks in his snow, literally. He's like, look at these fucking tracks you're putting in my fucking snow. And so I'm just like, holy shit, dude. This guy ain't giving me an inch. So anyways, he says, who the fuck are you? So I'm like, hey, we're actually the guys who bought that property, the 7 acres up the road about a mile, you know. We bought it, we've been up there since this summer. So then all of a sudden I can tell, like now he realizes who I am. And he fucking starts laying into me even more. He's like, you sons of bitches been driving up and down this fucking road every day. You never come by, you never introduce yourself or say hello. And so I'm like, hey man, you got no trespassing signs all over your fucking yard, you know, that's why we didn't come in. And he looks right at me and says, well, that didn't stop you today. And so he kind of had me there on that one. I was like, yeah, I guess that's true. Anyways, man, that motherfucker is still cussing me out as I turn around and walk off the porch. And I'm just like, man, that is a real pleasant son of a bitch to my buddy. I'm like, why don't you go talk to him? So me and him trudge back out to the truck, dude. Still blizzarding. Truck stuck in the fucking shoulder of the road. I just get in it at an angle, you know. You're all sloped and shit. My buddy Pat's still telling me, like, we gotta fucking go back. And I'm like, there ain't no way in hell I'm going back to talk to that son bitch, man. I'm like, I'm just gonna fucking lay here and wait for death to come get me, because that's preferable to dealing with that son of a bitch. So anyways, my buddy Pat finally realized he ain't gonna convince me. Now he's a local. I'm from Seattle, so I'm not as used to dealing with these fucking locals and people like that, you know? So my buddy Pat goes out and he says, I'm gonna go fucking talk to him, whatever. I'm like, good on you, man, have fun. So to my complete shock, about an hour later, because I'm just laying there with my head on the fucking steering wheel, you know, resigned to death at that point, here comes fucking Pat sitting in the passenger seat of this old fucking 1960s dually pickup truck with big ass chains and shit on it, and there's hole in the throat John driving that fucking thing, coming down, gets out of there. He's all geared up now in big ass winter gear and shit with the hood and everything. Comes over to me, first thing he says is, how much money you got on you? And then my buddy Pat's like, fuck man, give him some money, you know, he's gonna help us out. So I opened up my wallet, and we were broke in those days. So I'm like, fuck man, I got 20 bucks on me. I think I might have had like 30 or something, but I needed like 10 bucks for gas or whatever. So I'm like, I can give you 20 bucks. And he says, 20 now and 20 next time I see ya. So what am I gonna do? You know, fucking argue with him at that point. So I'm like, all right, man, I'll give you another 20 next time I see you. So I give him 20 bucks. He hooks us up, fucking pulls that shit the whole fucking mile or however far out, all the way up the hill, back out to the main road and shit. So of course we gotta be like, thank you so much, you saved our life and everything. And then I'll never forget, man, that guy looks at me and says, I didn't move up on this mountain to pull your ass off of here. If you ain't got your shit together, get the fuck off of my mountain. So I was like, damn man, he got a point though, you know? Like, you can't be coming up here expecting other people to pull your shit out, man, because this is one of those things, you get yourself into it, you better be able to get yourself fucking out. You made the decision to move up there. So after that point, I always just parked my truck out on the main road. I would just pull it into the main driveway, the road a little bit, the dirt road, and park it off to the side. So that way I was always right at the plowed road, and then I would just hike the 2 miles in and out. Fucking every day, in and out. But to wind this story up, a couple of weeks later, now I had actually done a video about trying to drive across the pass on Thanksgiving Day during a blizzard one time, and I got stuck, had to turn around, ended up getting stuck on a guardrail and had to get fucking popped off of that, almost killed everybody. But coincidentally enough, the final part of this story is actually on the same day as that other story, because it was that Thanksgiving with that blizzard and I needed to have my generator looked at. So I'm pulling that thing the 2 miles out on this fucking dirt road on a $10 Walmart sled, you know, with a little cord. Pulling that shit took me about 2 hours to do it. Just from the time I started to the 2 hours when I got out there, was probably a foot of snow had gone down on top of about the foot and a half we already had. So I get all the way to about maybe within a quarter mile, a half a mile from the fucking plowed road, the main road out there. Pulling that shit up, man, I don't even know if I can do it. There's like a last hill. I'm fucking slipping and sliding and fucking struggling every step. Look up, and who do I see coming around the corner? This is probably like 7 or 8 o'clock on Thanksgiving night. There ain't nobody out on this fucking mountain at this time of night on Thanksgiving Day. But here comes fucking Holding the Throat John with his wife sitting next to him. They must have just been coming back from some kind of family get-together or something. So he comes around the corner, and I'm thinking, oh, thank God, man. He's going to see my fucking struggles, and he's going to be like, load up the generator. I'll take you up to the main road. So I'm just like, man, he saved me. Comes around that corner, rolls down his window, and says, where's my $20? And of course I didn't have his fucking $20 on me at that moment. I just had to be like, John, I'm sorry, man. I ain't got the $20. I'm trying to get out for Thanksgiving. I'm fucking in a struggle. I got this whole thing going on. And he just says, next time I see ya, boom, rolls up his window and they take off. And I'm just like, holy fuck, man. I gotta finish pulling that shit out. Get that generator out to my truck, get it loaded up, and that's basically where my Thanksgiving Day blizzard story starts, which you can see on the other video. Maybe I'll even put a link underneath of this video to where you guys can go check it out. Said that whole winter and the next year after that, I hiked that 2 miles in and out every single day, pulled whatever I needed to on a sled, and that was how I got by. I'll never forget that Hole in the Throat John, man. Rest in peace. He ain't here with us anymore, man. But as much of a son of a bitch as that guy was, he was one tough old bird, man. And he did save our asses that time. I can't deny that, because we weren't getting that truck out of there, man. It would still be where it was, parked off the side of the road in a fucking block of ice at this point if that guy hadn't pulled us out that day. Got too into that. Barely had a chance to vape. So if you guys are curious, I am still vaping on this IPV cyanide or cyanide mod, however you want to say it. And that has the Sense iridescent tank on top, looking good. And then like I was telling you guys, right now Zample Box has the special deal going on for this number 13. Actually, it's the 11, 12, or 13. 180 ml bottles for $29. So at a price of about $10 per 60 mils, man, you can't beat that. And this fucking banana bread, the number 13, is an awesome, delicious vape. That's what I've been vaping on today during this video. Check it out. So, all right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me for a while today, listening to my story. You guys can let me know if you enjoyed that. I will try to do a couple of more of them. You can just give me a like and mention down below. And of course, subscribe to this channel if you haven't done that already, and check out the links down below for where you can get that great deal from Zample Box, as well as where you can check out the equipment I've been vaping on, the cyanide mod or that Sense tank. And then I will see you guys right back here for another product review video tomorrow. Peace. Have a great day, you guys.